share with the folks at home on the best way to get started with, say, personal growth and mindset?
The best way to start with personal growth and mindset?
Yeah.
Well, first you gotta want it. You gotta take an inventory of what is it in your life that you want to enhance or get better. I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody. I guess I may be wrong, but I don't think anybody can have personal growth forced onto them. Like you gotta want it. I don't think anybody has ever just woke up and like personal growth. Yeah, I'll take it. Like there's something within that. Like you gotta have an enough is enough moment. Whether it's health, wellness, money, just overall as a person, happiness. Joy. There's something within that has to trigger you to say, "Bro, I'm done. I want more," or "I need to do better," or "I need change." And I think that is step number one. And then identify what is the area that you want to grow in. And don't think anybody who goes from zero to hero usually relapse on anything. So don't try to go the extreme real quick. Like start slow. Like my wife, yeah, I talk to her all the time about the importance of meditation, and she's like, no, but I fall asleep. That's because she tries to do 20 minutes on her very first day of concentrated guided meditation. I'm like, just do 2 minutes, do 5 minutes. Like meditation is to simply focus on your breath and clearing out all thoughts until you have that one clear way of whatever that may be. Um, so yeah, so start very, very small steps, small bites. Just like working out, man. You start hardcore day one, you're gonna quit real quick. But little by little, little by little, little by little, until you develop that resilience of not quitting. Audiobooks are probably a great start versus books. Most people don't have the 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 gas tank full enough to sit and go through a whole book, but an audiobook with somebody reading it for you. And I recommend listen to that very same audiobook at least 13 times before you go to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having come from nothing to where you are now and having to deal with toxic people, how do you handle toxic people in your life? For one, for two, how do you handle toxic family?
So one, I don't handle toxic people. They just fall off the wayside. I stay busy. Just stay busy, man. When you stay busy, nobody, it's listen, you get mad. Nobody made you mad. Like, right? Like when you say like I am mad. Okay, that's an affirmation as a decision that you've made. So I get busy. I genuinely just stay busy and not intentionally to throw anybody out of my life. It's either you're going to match my busyness, you're going to be aligned with my core values, with my vision, with the way I operate, or you're just going to say I'm out. As far as toxic family, man, that's a hard one because a lot of people are going to assume that I'm saying get rid of them, and I'm not. Again, stay busy, and you just got to love them for who they are. I meet I think we all have toxic family at some point. I put these like invisible ear muffs. Really? Yeah, definitely, I'm doing that. Okay, quit. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll get rid of it. Yeah, you're right. Why should I be in business? Life insurance. Yes, yes, I will do that. I give them what they want. People aren't intentionally mean. Hurt people hurt people. Somebody has done something to them in the past that turned them to become who they are. So you yourself try. I'm not saying you have to, but try to have a sense of empathy that you're just messed up and you're trying to bring me into your circle of craziness. So I'm just gonna allow you to do, be, have whatever you are doing to yourself in your own energy, and I'm just gonna stay in my own bubble. And and once we're done, I'm gonna go shower, sleep, wake up like it's a brand new day. Nothing ever happened the night before. Not saying it's easy.
No, absolutely not easy. Having to deal with it myself.
Yeah.
So, um, just having two toxic brothers, basically, and being stuck between them for 30 years, 30 plus years, 40 years.
But here's a question.
Sure.
God forbid something happens to them. They're no longer here. Would your perception change a little? Would your I wish something was different come to mind if they're no longer here?
I think everybody's going to wish that. I mean, in any
I'm
way,
not
shape, or
asking
form.
that. I'm asking you, Rich.
As me,
God forbid, you get a phone call as soon as we walk out of here. Bus straight to the face, done. Would you look at his obituary or open casket and say, "I wish I tried"?
I try with them all the time. I have tried. I mean,
It
that's
ain't.
the thing. I know what you're saying. Give me a minute,
Yeah.
please. I understand what you're saying. I have tried, and I continue to try. Would I think would my mentality or my thoughts change as far as what I've done or tried over the years? Probably not. I mean, I've been the mediator. I've been the hard ass. I've been the friend. I've been.
Let me ask you a different question, if I may.
Sure.
Would you wish you had a little bit more time?
I always wish I had more time.
And if you did have that more time, assuming there's an open casket in front of you, what would you have done different?
I don't know that there's much I could have done different. Could do different.
So what would you want the time for?
I would just want the time to spend with them either way.
Then let's do that.
And I do spend time with
you
them.
went right back to that last point of just
Yes, I did. And that's what I do. I mean,
Yeah.
I've gotten there to that point with them. It took me 30 plus years to get there.
And it's not easy.
Okay.
It'll never be
there's
easy.
times where they come to me and say things, and I'm turning around and I want to be that person that says, well, you need to, well, you should, or you want it. And I'm like, nope, I got you. I got to keep telling myself that. Just to be able to spend the time with them. I mean, I enjoy spending time with my brothers, don't get me wrong.
I hear
But when you hear a lot of the things that people say about getting rid of toxic people in their life or in your life to be able to move forward, to bring in people that are going to be positive in your life, they never talk about how to handle family.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because I've never had to deal with it, which I find hard to believe, or they just don't want to touch on the subject because they don't want to offend somebody.
I think also everybody's got their own issues, trauma, hardship, and we don't know how to deal with everybody else based on how they deal with stuff.
Yeah.
You know, my mother, I talked to her about my own trauma many times over, and she'll literally stand up, smile, and walk away. My father, come on, let that stuff go. Like, no, dude, you were the stuff. You're here. I need to talk to you about this. And he would just say no. So, you know, what I learned through a year worth of therapy so far, there are two emotions that make everybody else avoid wanting to deal with you and adjust what they need to adjust. And I think we do it as well too sometimes. And that is guilt and shame. My therapist and I came to the conclusion that my son, our son, my wife and I son, Sebastian, reminds the elders of me. You know, and my history from 5 till 16 years old was terrible, and my parents have either contributed or have seen it happen right before their eyes and never really did anything to, you know, kind of do their part to rectify certain things. Not that they're bad parents, they just didn't know any better. And they do not come around to see Sebastian. Guess why? He's a pure reminder of everything that I have gone through. They see the little kid crying again. They see the little kid hurt. They see the little kid dealt with, you know, reporting physical abuse or sexual abuse by the nanny, and nothing was done about it. And what my therapist has taught me, kudos to her, Christy Peoples, she says, you are living in your past family while you should be creating the life with your current family. Instead of saying, I wish that I didn't go through that when I was 5, you have a 6-year-old in front of you. Be that father that you wanted to have. You know, be that role model that you wanted to have. Be that protector that you wanted to have. And, you know, many people like family, they wonder, like, why do I talk to Sebastian the way I talk to him? Why do I, like, I am direct. I mean, you see me, Sebastian and I, we talk like straight up. You know, yesterday, you know, we didn't go to Mexico, Papa, this year that passed. Why didn't we go? We usually go every year. Yeah, we didn't. Why not? Well, we had a rough year, son. We lost about $150,000, and here's what happened. He's like, "Are you about?" This is literally what it says yesterday. Are you telling me about to be broke? I was like, well, what is it to be broke, Sebastian? Not have any money. I was like, well, let me ask you a question. Do you have breakfast every morning? He's like, yeah. Lunch? Yeah. Dinner? Yeah. Do you wear everything that you want to wear? Yeah. Do you have a computer, an Xbox, and a PlayStation? Yeah. Mike, are we in a nice car right now? Yeah. Where are we going? To Aldi for what? To buy food? Now, what do you need for all of that? Money? I'm like, so are we doing okay? He's like, yeah, we're rich. Good, right? So to his level of thinking, right, there is no how much is in the bank account and what are the bills that are coming, like me and you as grown up think about, right? To him, we either have money to buy stuff or we don't. So I do have those open conversations with him that most parents lie to their kids. My son would say all the time, I know you're Santa Claus. Meaning he from his imaginary little movies that he watches, he sees this character, Santa Claus, bringing the gift. He says like he knows I'm the real Santa Claus. He's like, I know you're the one who brings the gift. And I appreciate that. So guilt and shame are real emotions that the people around us deal with, and when they are confronted in a circumstance where you're like, hey man, we got to deal with this thing, guilt, shame kicks in and they don't want to confront their own inner demon. So guess what? The mean, nasty, sarcastic, isolated, pushy, narcissistic, etc. character comes out because that's the only defensive mechanism that they know.
Okay. So
that was deep.
I can get real deep. Put myself on the line. Maybe you got some insight. Somewhat of my financial situations and hardships and everything else. In the house that I live in, I'm with my mother-in-law. We had sold our house back in 2015 and moved back in with my in-laws. The reason being is couldn't afford to take care of two households financially, mentally, or physically. It was just getting to be too much for myself, for my wife, and it was affecting my kids and my relationship with them. We lost my father-in-law 4 years ago. And since then, my mother-in-law, because her husband of almost 50 years. So all bills are shared amongst me, my wife, and my mother-in-law at the moment to take care of household bills and things that were left from my father-in-law and things of that nature that we're still trying to get caught up on. So my financial situation is way in the tank, like a lot of people, especially with the financial hardships and the economy the way it is. Staying on the subject of toxic people and, dealing with your family and everything else. I know there's other people that are in the same situation that I'm in or a similar situation where they're living or have in-laws or family living with them that are also helping contribute to help take care of things because of today's economy. How do you get across to somebody that's old world thinking, for the most part, brought up, you go to school, you have to have a job, you got to work 40 hours a week. This is what you need to do in order to make a living and survive and everything else. And they see anybody trying to venture outside of that, starting their own business or anything else, as nothing but folly, or there's no way that you can actually do it. And they're constantly negative to you and you're trying to overcome that and still build something of your own, and still maintain a healthy relationship with your family and your kids.
You can't change them. So. What you can do, get stupid, filthy rich and separate.
So
that's I'm just being honest with you. And I'm talking to you from experience, right? Yes. So you just can't change somebody, especially somebody old school that is so stuck on their own way of thinking.
I'm not telling you to change her. What can I do? What can I do? Or
become successful.
But how do you do that when they're constantly negative to you all day, every day, no matter what you say? They got something else to say that's constantly in your face.
Can I be mean?
Go ahead.
You're listening to them.
So
you don't put your invisible mufflers earmuffs that I put on. I got them, dude, every single day. There's not a single day that I don't have, you heard me talk about it before. My own mother came to the very first time to see me on a major stage was 2020 when we were with the Young Entrepreneur Project in Florida, launching it September 2020. And my mother's sitting in front row, and she's looking, and everybody's talking about Mr. Mehdaoui, Mr. Mehdaoui, Mr. Mehdaoui, and she has no idea, like, why are these guys referring to you as Mr. Mehdaoui? Why aren't they saying Ali? My mother thinks that I'm a salesperson of some like tomato company or something, And many times they will be like, why are you doing this? Why don't you do something that gives you insurance, health insurance? Like, so to the world, I'm a superhero. I got companies fighting over me, headhunters wanting me. And my own mother says, you're supposed to be here. Why are you on that stage? Now, that doesn't mean that my mother doesn't love me. My mother has a way of thinking. My stepfather, same exact thing, right? Every time, are they paying you for all these Zooms and these lives that you keep doing every day? Who? Facebook. No. Then why are you doing it every single day? Why not? It's how I market myself. I don't understand. You guys like to work for free. Dad, and then I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I got you, Dad. I'll call Facebook. I'll speak to Facebook to make sure that I get paid. Move on.
I would ask him. I said, well, what would it cost me to put my face and name on a billboard?
But
I'm not getting paid by the billboard.
But the reality is, again, you allowed me to be mean.
I know.
You are listening to mom-in-law.
Well, I'm listening and I'm not listening. The problem is it creates such a negative atmosphere in the house. I mean, it affects everybody in the house at that point because of the way she acts. Because what she'll do is she'll get upset and she'll get nasty, and then she won't talk to anybody for 2-3 days, and she'll walk around the house with an attitude and pissed off all day.
The point that I'm trying to make you is you still are allowing those words to be registered. Like, listen, she writes this whole article of horrible things and sends it to you, right? And you put enter. You put it in your software. I don't. I do not at all. You can say the messed up, meanest thing. Again, me and you texted me just 3 days ago. You're like, sorry if I sound annoyed or whatever. Like, I love you. You good? If I were like, man, you're talking to me like that, blah, blah. Now I hit enter because I know that you just had a moment called a human being and you were freaking frustrated that you couldn't give me a damn phone call in 30 goddamn seconds and your videos are all over. I get it.
No, I got you.
But I could have, like, bro, like, why would you talk to me about that? No, I don't hit enter. Clear, alt, delete. I see good in people no matter how bad they can be. And this is new. You know how much it took for me to still move on? I could see, and we'll edit her name or we'll bleep it. I could see cousins today. I wouldn't even acknowledge her existence. Because if I allow her horrible ways, whatever she's done that hurt my kids and my family and our business, again, I'm hitting enter. I'm bringing something that has happened in the past that no longer exists today, and I'm compromising my way of thinking. The moment you have a stress gene in your body, it eats off your proteins. You hear protein deficient? The United States population is the number one population in the world that is protein deficient. You know why? Yeah, sure, the food is bad. We can say all of that. Stress. The highest stressed community in the world is the United States. So that stress itself makes you your immune system weak. If you guys heard that clap, that was his belly. That was not his hands. But the point that I'm trying to make is I am a very adamant, conscious human being who, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how bad it gets, cool, keep it moving. And I've done it repeatedly over the years. This is why I say adversity is the biggest deposit in your bank account. Adversity made me this, made me strong. I'm not cold, bro. I cry. I get frustrated. I have moments too. But my recovery is like this. I could be like, how dare you? I mean, we went to get pizza and had a moment. I was like, what the heck? we had an agenda, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
And then I sat down, like, mute me. I gotta eat my pizza. Right? I immediately passed on for that emotion. But if you are living in that emotion, you're taking that atmosphere that you said has been created at the house, and you're walking with it all day long everywhere. And now you're a ticking bomb. Anybody who touches you the wrong way, you're like, ah, because you took that emotion that you wanted to react for somebody's bad behavior in the morning. Now you're taking it with you throughout the whole day, which if God would bless you with an opportunity of something that be good in front of you, you are so consumed by that thought of that frustration of this morning, you just missed out on what was in front of you. So I can't afford to do that. That was the moments. All right, well, let's wrap it up. I hope this is last test and the first freaking beginning of 2024. Let's freaking take over, bro. I am ready. I mean, the phone is starting to ring again. Thank God. Let's just make this freaking thing the best year ever. And yeah, I taken a beating in especially the last 4 months. I've taken a major beating, but it's past.